And now, Podtendo presents Sidequest Cinema. Hey guys, welcome to the Podtendo podcast. I believe it's the Sidequest Cinema, as it is, because all we do now is Sidequest Cinemas. You thought, oh, maybe they'll get back to video games. Nope, only movies forever now. Forever and always. Cool, I'm your host, Mick, and I'm joined every episode by that other voice that you just heard, who is...
Tyson.
Nice. Welcome to Sidequest Cinema. We are... in the month of Mario, guys. We did it. We got through Scary Spooky Month. We have to talk about our man Mario because there's mustaches and we remember it. We're great.
Yeah. We've been doing it for a while. Do we do it year one?
Kind of indirectly.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Like if you look back at our release schedule, but we played Resident Evil, but when one show was released in September, one was in October or something. And I think this actually might have been the first one of the things we talked about in the very first November, which made kind of our very first month of Mario.
That's fair. I was going to say there was always that long lost video or a long lost recording of our Resident Evil movie review. We both just hated that movie. So it seems to be a theme where we're always either recording Mario or Resident Evil.
November 8th, 2016, we saw the release of the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was episode 15. And then we had Mario RPG Part 2 and then Super Mario World. So, yeah, right from the beginning, month of Mario existed.
Wow, good for us.
Yeah.
We were dedicated from year one.
That's it. So November 18th.
We all had it planned out.
The whole time. Nothing better. In fact, holy smokes, November 10th is today. So that means 2 days ago, 7 years ago, we were talking about this movie. Huh.
Yeah. Well, we released a video talking about this movie.
What?
Right?
What are you talking about?
Wouldn't that be release day?
Release day? Of what?
Yeah, of when we actually released it, because that's when we actually published it, not when we actually recorded it. Unless you just record, anyway, it doesn't matter. We're getting into the weeds about this one. Let's get back on track.
Today's November 10th. 2023 and November 8th, 2016. So 7 years ago, minus 2 days, we first released the Super Mario Brothers movie podcast, and we're releasing it again today.
Yes. Sorry, I thought you said we first chatted. I was like, yeah, minus our recording, but no. Sorry, I was like I said, I'll just
no. We always record on the day that the podcasts come out. That's just how it works.
Yeah, of course. Where's my M. Bison sound clip?
I don't.
With him saying, of course.
Have you just lost your mind? What's happening?
We're off track. We're recording late.
Let's get back. I realize that we're recording not on November 10th, but today is November 10th because that's the first possible day you could have listened to this podcast.
Yes. Sorry, I'm out of it. I'm an idiot.
Okay.
Ignore me. Let's get back on track.
Cool. Great. There you go. So like I said, after that, you know what? We haven't had an intro for a while. Man, I'm glad that happened. I don't know what it was, but poo boy, glad that happened. Today we're doing a rerun. Why do we call it that? Because when you play video games, you call them runs, especially in the speedrunning community. And we're redoing an old show, so now they're officially called reruns. Hilarious.
Yes, it's clever.
Cool. All right, so we're rerunning Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Guys, I pulled up my notes. I found a set of notes that I don't know where they are. They're hidden on some external hard drive somewhere. I was so excited. I pulled them up. There was 7 words. I was like, crap. So some of these will be original notes. Lots of the stuff I added after the fact. So there we go. So the release date was May 28th, 1993. How long to beat has this movie? Look what I was doing. This is hilarious. 1 hour, 44 minutes. Actual retail price because that's what we used to have it on our notes. Apparently, it was $4.14 because that's how much movie tickets cost in '93.
Nice. Jeez, what a bargain!
Now they're like $75. Current eBay price, you could apparently find a DVD of this movie for $15. I'll be honest with you, I might buy it. That sounds pretty cool.
It was on Amazon. It had 1-day delivery. I was so close to pulling the trigger on it.
But you can eShop price. Oh man, I'm silly. Free on YouTube. I mean, I didn't watch it there. No, I definitely watched it on YouTube. No one cares. No one cares about this movie.
No, even Nintendo, who owns the rights to this movie, like, it doesn't exist. Ignore them.
It's fine. If you really love it, you'll buy it on DVD. But other than that, it's probably fine. Cast of this movie includes John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins, Dennis Hopper, Carlene Moore, Jojo Mixon, and Samantha Mathis.
Yeah. And apparently everyone was constantly drunk throughout this whole filming.
Oh, it was an absolute mess behind the scenes. Normally I have development details that goes into a little bit more information. These are original development details, so I know you've all seen them before, but there you go. It was the very first video game movie created. Wow. It started development in 1991. They used the same photographer from Blade Runner. Yeah, that makes sense. Danny DeVito was originally planned to be Mario. The director wanted to make an adult movie rather than a movie for kids. And the original director was fired during filming. The second unit director actually finished it. He was a bit better, and he did win an Oscar for Dances with Wolves. Cool.
I could see that, because this movie is... If you can salvage this movie and make it somewhat watchable, because it seemed like just a train wreck at certain points.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's... If you haven't watched it, pause, stop what you're doing. Enjoy the month of Mario. It's an hour and a half. It's on YouTube. Throw on the playlist. It's absolutely bonkers, but kind of fun. And I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie, so yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's so out there and with its wackiness that it's almost... it's very watchable. Like, it's so bad you just can't turn away. It's like a train wreck.
No, not absolutely. You just have to kind of sit and enjoy it. So what we're doing now, instead of wasting all our time talking about this is the structure of the plot, because we don't know what we're talking about. We don't know. We've never wrote anything. We're not made a movie. Let's just talk about our first memories, because we lived those. Psh, damn Skippy, we did. This movie was a pretty big deal back in the day. You know, Mario was my hero. All I wanted to do was play Mario games, and now I get to see him on the big screen. I know we didn't go to see it in theaters. So someone must have rented it. I kind of feel like it was a babysitter. I feel like we lived in Sparwood. It was our house, like our first house that we kind of lived in. And it was one of those, like we had a babysitter like 2 or 3 doors down. I kind of feel like we saw it at her house.
I could see that. It was definitely like watching this with pizza was a necessary thing.
Yeah. I know we watched it probably a few times. Probably rented it from a friend had it in their VHS collection. That's definitely one of those ones like, I'll put it on. We had the Luigi toy from this game. I think we had like a graphic novelization. There was probably magazine articles, like trading cards, you name it, anything that was marketed to kids. I think we were kind of that target demographic that was just eating this stuff up. And I never really recall hating it. You know, even as a child, I was like, that's like kind of Mario, but it's also not Mario, but it's like kind of goofy, but like he kind of has a suit on at one point, so that's fine. It's kind of like Free Willy. You know, you see it doesn't really leave anything with you. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Sweet.
Yeah, and for some reason, in this movie, when I'm watching it, I just have like thoughts of E.T. So I don't know if like we watched E.T. and then watched this while eating like candy.
Okay.
At some point, but it was just like one of those things where like, or maybe it's just the way everything looks, how it's just like, even though this movie came out like a decade later, it still just looks like all the plastic parts just look like it's from E.T.
Yeah, I could see that. Cool. So first memories for Tyson has limited. It's been with us for a while, right? Probably most of our lives, depending kind of like, I guess when you start kind of thinking you remember stuff or recalling things, right? So it's kind of a big deal. So that though, we should probably get into the game or the movie proper now.
Yes.
Okay. Sweet yo. So, terrible plot summary. This is long because it's bonkers. Good movies, you can summarize in like 4 sentences. When it's a bad movie, you start getting into the paragraphs. And I got a pretty big paragraph, so I think we know what's going on. So, terrible plot summary. Back in the day, an egg was left with some nuns. Present day, the Mario Brothers are a failing plumbing company. Luigi meets Daisy, visits her dig site, saves it from some water, and chases her into another dimension. There, the brothers are arrested. We learn their last name. They are interrogated by Koopa before escaping in a Mario Kart. Daisy learns that Koopa plans to merge the 2 dimensions to create one complete Mario Galaxy. The 2 cousins, or Earls, because they're cousins of the king, so in theory they're actually royalty, but they're kind of treated terribly, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Wonder what cousins of the kings are called. Earls. So, Earls, there you go. Are evolved to be smarter before being captured in the dumbest way possible. They team up, go to a dinosaur club, have a Mario party with Big Bertha, escape, and end up in Koopa Tower. The brothers make the Goombas dance, free the captured Brooklyn girls, and escape with Daisy. Time for the final showdown between Mario and Koopa, a skeleton lady, a monkey, and Mario kills Koopa with a gun. Mario Tennis.
You just didn't incorporate Mario Golf in there somewhere.
Well, I had to pick one. Mario Tennis was the funniest one, so.
It was. But yeah, it's a oh boy. I don't understand who came up with this plotting for this movie and was like, this really does clean up the Super Mario Brothers lore, doesn't it?
Like, it is so complicated. Actually, when I was working on the notes last night, I had it on, like, movie playing in the background, kind of, have the notes up working on it. And I was going through and I was like, I don't know what happens in this movie. Like, I couldn't tell you beat for beat what happens. So I was like, I'll just have to come back to this, right? I can fill up most of the notes, no problem. But like I was like, they go over here and then they're there and then this and I was like, what? Oh, it's complicated. It's confusing. It's not well thought out. So
yes,
this isn't a prestige. We did Logan. We did the Alien and Aliens. Those are prestige movies. This is, oh boy, not good.
Yeah, no, hey, everybody needs to watch their mandatory cheese fest. Yeah. And this is our, just so happens to be, I guess it's a vodka induced cheese fest because everybody was just drinking vodka everywhere on set. Why everybody looks so sweaty and gross.
Do I have fun facts? I do. Yeah, there was troubled production on the sets, and like, do we talk about that before we talk about the movie? What do you think?
If you got any, throw them out there. The one that I know off the top of my head was that Bob Hoskins had a broken hand.
Okay, yeah.
And I guess in the one scene, they're driving in the beginning of the movie. Like at the beginning of the movie, they're driving their stupid van and they slam on the brakes.
Okay.
Bob Hoskins has his hand in the doorway, and that's a sliding door, so it comes and slides and just like breaks his hand.
Cool.
So he's constantly trying to hide it in his sleeve, so you just see his fingers poke out. But every so often you see like this, and I think it's like green. It's very like a lime green, like that when they did the lime green cast. So like you could have painted that any other color.
I never noticed. So like watching the movie yesterday, I never noticed. So good job on the production to kind of cover that up. I know it was troubled. We'll see if it comes up organically. Let's talk about it, and then anything that we'll do a cleanup at the end. Like we'll blitz things that we kind of missed. So we'll just kind of leave it as is. So we'll get into the review though proper. We got to start out with our favorite parts. I like to be positive right off the start. Let's get why is this movie excellent, or egg salad as they say some days. What is your favorite part of Super Mario Brothers?
I love me some Dennis Hopper in this movie. This watching, I was just like, this guy.
Yeah.
So delightful. Like, he is giving it his all. He's eating up the scenes and just, like, doubling down, and can go from just, like, a psychopathic, like, tries to gouge Luigi's eyes out at one point, and then, like, gets his hands all clean.
So on that note, there's a part where he's talking to Daisy, or maybe one of the cousins, and he like flashes and it looks like he has like a reptile face. Did you notice that?
I think kind of.
So then there's
this
no, I'm not
How is
talking
this
about when
after?
I'm not talking about when his eye does that. I'm talking about he grabs someone and he kind of like snarls, and his face looks more reptilian. And it happens at a different point when he's having an up close conversation, and he like snarls, and his face looks lizardy. Or is that just Dennis Hopper's face?
Well, I know after he gets devolved, he starts becoming like unstable and starts like drifting and becoming even more lizardy. But he does like he's always like licking or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's
so it's a combination of he just has like a weird looking face at times, and he plays up the performance really well. So making a reptile face, like he's like, and it kind of looks like it, or it might be CGI. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, because they have some CGI in this, and it's like the effects of Daisy's face through the rock wall. I'm like, okay, that's like almost believable. Sure, good job, '93 movie. Yeah.
Yep. What are your favorite parts?
For myself, I had Dennis Hopper. I had the three male leads in this film. Dennis Hopper, I thought he did it really well. I wanted to mention the CGI face. That's kind of why I did that organically. But I'm gonna shout out the Mario brothers, John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. John Leguizamo, he brings a lot of manic energy to the role. He's charming. He kind of plays the wide-eyed dreamer super well, right? He is the hero of this film. It's not the Super Mario Brothers. It's not Mario's movie. It's Luigi's movie. He has a love story. He's the hero, right? He's the guy that is trying to teach him to listen to the universe, to follow your energy. It's the defining Luigi performance / personality until he kind of becomes a scaredy cat in 2003's Luigi Mansion, right? So Leguizamo just absolutely just crushes it. And he's great. Like, when it started, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to watch this movie. Maybe I'll just pretend I did. But just him and his excitement and joy, especially when they've been driving around in the beginning, he's like, just turn this way, Mario. No, I got a feeling. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's follow him. Like, let's go. Luigi's got me. I love him. He's great. So he got me. He hooked me into this movie. And then Bob Hoskins. I absolutely adore Bob Hoskins. His physical acting in this movie against CGI characters, doing all these goofy stunts, just the physical comedy that he brings to Roger Rabbit's, it just makes me so damn happy. And like the fact that Bob Hoskins is in this movie and Roger Rabbit, it's incredible. I love the performances, and it's one of those things where I can't hate this movie. I kind of like it, spoiler, because of just the fact that I know you're getting to see Hoskins, and they weren't in the best work environments, right? There was a very abusive, bad set. The script was constantly being changed. Every day they were getting just new pages handed to them. So they weren't even learning their lines. They were just showing up on set and be like, hey, what do you want me to say? Okay, cool. And having fun with it and rolling with it. And like, it shows, and like, I don't know. I think both their performances are just top notch, right? And all three of them actually just kind of bring it. Without them, if you had more, say, like, Daisy Ridley or what? I don't know what's her name. Princess Daisy. I wrote it down specifically.
Daisy, yeah.
Samantha Mathis. I don't think she wants to be in this film. The other guys, they look like they're having a good time though. Yeah, they're probably drunk, but like, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, they do a good job, and I think that they really hold this movie together. It could fall apart so easily because it's just a complete train wreck with the story and the plotting and the like. Scenes that like what the hell is even happening in half these scenes. It's just like it's in that filmmaking where it's just constant noise.
Mm-hmm. It is just
yeah.
So sorry, what were you gonna say? That you agree? Good.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
The actors, the male actors do a good job. Samantha Mathis, I think, just kind of is just there.
You know what? Even like the evil like assistant lady. She's not bad.
Yeah, the older lady.
She does okay.
Yeah.
And the lady that plays like Big Bertha is fine, right? Like literally, it's just the lady that plays Samantha Mathis is kind of like, okay.
Yeah, well, I think she tries to disown herself because she's still acting to this day. But like, it's funny when you Google this movie, she does not come up in that search results. You have to dig into IMDb and be like, oh, it's Samantha Mathis, because I was like, who's that actress? I was kind of like forget who that is, and I had to like go to IMDb. If you went to just the Google search results, it's obviously been scrubbed. She wants nothing to do with this movie.
Well, and it's funny because as I was like, I have to mention her name because like she does not hold the same level of joy. She doesn't bring the same charisma that Hoskins and Leguizamo does, or Hopper, I guess, in that case. And I'm like, but like, why? And then I was thinking, like, who could replace her? And I was like, imagine if they had like a Sandra Bullock, a blonde, cute, young Sandra Bullock in this role, who's like bubbly and like full of life. I was like, they might have had the best cast ever in a terrible movie. Listening to a different podcast that was a little bit more harsh, they were like, yeah, the acting, they're talking about the acting, and they're like, but who are they going to get? Like Sandra Bullock? And I was like, are you kidding me? Because I was like, yeah, it's about the right time, or she would have been young enough to play that role. So, but let's not recast this. Let's move on to our next category, which is our most notable scene or part of this movie. So you haven't seen it for a while, but it's that part you want to talk about, or like, man, that was weird. Normally I can kind of follow an order and I can tell the story, but no, there's so much going on. I forgot about things. So the opening dinosaur cartoon. What if the dinosaurs died? What if they went to a different dimension? The Princess Peach's egg hatching scene. Baby coming out of an egg. What are you guys doing, nuns? The metal face thing that Luigi puts on his face. I know we had one of those. That was fun. Samantha Mathis's terrible acting as Daisy. The face wall, traveling through dimension scene. The meteor crash set. The Dino Hatton sets. Love Dino Hatton set. Meeting Toad. Finding out the Mario Brothers' last name is Mario, which makes sense because they're the Mario Brothers. The jump boots. Big Bertha. Yoshi. Bowser's mud bath. Ba-bomb. The ice slide. Dancing Goombas. The lady being skeletoned into the wall. Monkey. The King Fungi. How about the final Super Scope battle? Man, there's so much going on in this film.
Yeah, rewatching it this time, I think Dino Hatton, this set is just, it's terrible. It's a terrible set, but it's so fascinating to look at. Yeah. I was just like watching things in the background this time. Like there's a bunch of Koopa for jobs, and then there's like Koopa like kissing a baby, or like it's like a bunch of this propaganda, and it's like, I love Dennis Hopper. He's so brilliant, and it's like he must have had to go in and do all these extra shoots and just for the ads for them to throw into the background.
Makeup day. It's like, makeup day. You're not acting today. You got to go do some photo shoots. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but it's like, I love that little touch.
Well, it is. For myself, I'm gonna. Oh man, there's so much. I almost feel like, okay, let's go through these things. The Princess Peach egg hatching scene. It's gross. It's gross. Weird. And I remember as a kid being like, "What the fuck? Is that where kids come from?" Because you don't know. Right? Like, what is happening there? The opening dinosaur credit, I know that was like one of your points of contention the first time we watched that. We had a conversation and you were like, what if? I don't know, it's kind of funny. I was like watching it again and I was like, man, Tyson hates those dinosaurs at the beginning.
They do suck.
Yeah. What other ones? Dino Hatton set. I think, honestly, if we were to give out props, the fact that they built this big, crazy warehouse and it's just like covered in this weird fungus, and like Tyson was saying, the propaganda posters, but even I see Koopa coupons, right? So Koopa coins are mentioned. That's obviously the currency of this land, but clearly it's such a dictatorship that he gives out Koopa coupons. So you don't even get money. It's just coupons so you can go buy stuff in his town. Like same with like war bonds or what are those, coal bonds and stuff, right? Where you don't really get money. You just give it back to the company. So I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
I was going to say Toad singing.
Yeah, or like the crazy cars even, right? Like just even like the fact that they have these weird jumpers on the back of their car that touch like this power grid, and that's how they're obviously getting powered to run around the city. It's just absolutely bonkers. Yoshi was such an impressive animatronic that they worked on to make this little dinosaur. The guys from Jurassic Park, Stan Winston crew from Jurassic Park came over, and Spielberg, and said, man, this Yoshi looks really impressive. We're making this Jurassic Park movie that comes out like 2 weeks after this. And they used Yoshi as the inspiration for their animatronics.
Oh, I could see it because it is so good. Yeah. And it's still just like that. The movie just kind of comes, like it does kind of come to a standstill, but it's not like a standstill in a bad way. It kind of comes to like a quiet moment. Mm-hmm. And then when like Yoshi gets like defends
gets
Daisy
shanked
gets
in the
stabbed.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're just tragic.
I kind of wish they would have made Yoshi look more like the video game character, because I really would have liked to see him get shanked.
We can only hope for in the
sequel. The
sequel
next,
to the yeah.
I want someone to stab Yoshi with a knife. That sounds fun. So notable scenes. I'm gonna go with the set design. It is no, that's actually maybe my praise. So most notable scene, I don't know, the boots, maybe the jump boots. Those are kind of cool.
Them going into the elevator and full get up.
Oh yeah, and they like do the high five and they go deedle 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 deedle.
Yeah, because everybody needed a cool in the 90s. Everybody needed a cool handshake or high five.
Do you have a notable? What's your most notable scene or part?
Mine was Dino Hatton.
Okay, you pick Dino Hatton. I'll pick the jump boots. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Solid. Okay, what about our least favorite part of this movie? So there is some contention. I've been mostly positive. I need to put my negative hat here because this is the story of two movies. So Tyson, what is your least favorite part of this movie?
Oh, I think we could just probably say this in unison on the count of three.
1, 2, 3. The plot seems kind of all over the place. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, the plot. Yeah. It's a train wreck. Yeah. Like, I don't understand. That's why this movie's so fascinating. I guess I can keep rewatching it all these years later, and it is enjoyable for me to rewatch because it's just bonkers. Like, it is. Who comes up with these ideas, like, and then leaves you with all these questions? Like, they arrest these, like, the plumbers, and it's like a split universe between like mammals and dinosaurs.
But the dinosaurs all became humans. Why weren't they more reptilian?
Well, and did they evolve? Like, why do they all look like us? Why do they speak English like us?
Yeah.
Why is there like this boycott out for plumbers? Like, they know what plumbers is, and at one point when the plumbers, like Mario and Luigi, are on the run on the police radio, it's like, hey, all citizens, keep your eye out for these two alien plumbers. And it's like, so do lots of like humans from our world come in, and are they considered aliens? Like, I'm getting so many questions.
Yeah
But then it's like random, here's a dance scene with like them trying to dance the Goombas, and the Goombas no. If you're complete opposites of like what they should be. It's
if you want to talk about dance scene, what about the sweet dinosaur dance that they're doing in that club? Like, it's choreographed, and there's like 20 people, and they're all doing like, it's kind of a combination of like Walk the Dinosaur mixed with like the Thriller kind of hand motions, and like everyone's really into it, and I'm like, what is happening? Also, Walk the Dinosaur. So like they just have our pop songs in this universe, and that's one they chose.
Also, it's just like, why they can never get the costumes right.
Yeah.
Like, Mario's in yellow and Luigi's in red, and you're like, why is this so hard for you guys to get right?
So apparently they were adamant. The producers of this film were adamant that they actually didn't want them in the jumpsuits at all. Like, there was a battle with the studio, or even the director and the producers. They didn't want to give them the coveralls because they thought that would be too corny for their serious adult movie.
Oh, of course, because it's such a high art masterpiece. It's like,
at this point, all we knew was Mario ran and jumped on stuff. One time he had a dream and he fought a guy with vegetables, and then he became a raccoon, and then he has a dinosaur friend. Like, that's all we know about Mario. There's a princess, and they're like, no, whoa. This is serious subject matter. If we gave him those jumpsuits, this becomes a farce.
Yeah, it's like, hey, and just so you're aware, we're gonna get plenty of shots of cleavage because this is a serious movie.
Like, we have mud baths, people. Okay, cool.
Monkey.
Yeah, that might be my favorite. Monkey. Like, the number of times I say that, and I'm like, wait, where's that from? Like, oh, it's Dennis Hopper's. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, like, I was just gonna try and work. So, at one point, when I was writing my notes, okay, so the cousins are secretly working for the king. Right, and then the lady who is like Koopa's friend is working against Koopa, but Koopa just seems kind of horny for Daisy. So like, why did he need Daisy? Because like, once they had the rock, they like the lady puts the rock in and she dies. But you could just have anyone, like you could have had Toad do that, and then Toad dies. Who cares? It's Toad.
Well, because Daisy could have put that into the rock without dying.
Yeah, but like, you just kill someone. Like, go get the rock, leave Daisy.
Yeah, well, I think they were trying to avoid that.
But like, who cares? Just instead of like turning Toad into the big Goomba guy, just kill him. Have him like, oh, go put this rock over there, and he dies.
I know.
Okay.
Like it's like the plot of this movie is written one page after the other, and they're like.
So I started like, I was
why
like,
did we do that back then?
I'll just pick apart this one little chunk. That'll explain how terrible the plot is. No. It's just bonkers. Like I mentioned, the cousins or whatever, just randomly, like, they're the Mario Brothers are out in the desert. They're down to rights. They're dead. So the two cousins, they get in their little Mario Kart and they fly off a cliff and land in a puddle of mud and they get stuck. They get captured. That's how the Mario Brothers turn the tables in the story. They don't do anything. They just find these guys in this mud pile and they're like, haha, now we're in charge. And I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, I even remember that happening as a kid and just being like, no, that doesn't make sense. This is bad.
But actually, my least favorite part of the movie, not the whole thing, because that's not a good answer, is the design of the final Koopa puppet. What is it? So he gets de-evolved. They hit him with this gun, and he de-evolves, and then he comes out and he's just this big snarling thing with these big teeth. But there's no discernible shape. Like, why wouldn't you make him look like the game? He had one job. I mean, I guess ultimately they didn't want anyone to think they were making a Super Mario Brothers movie. Oh, we don't want a guy that looks like King Koopa or Bowser. We don't want them in jumpsuits. So that's my least favorite part. Like, and that's always bothered me. But like, as they hit him more with the gun, he kind of evolves into kind of a dinosaur-looking guy, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of what like Koopa looks like. Cool. But then he just turns into goop and dies. And it's just it's always bothered me that I'm like, why didn't they have a better-looking Bowser puppet?
Because everything that was a reference to the video games, they wanted to just spin so they didn't have to do it.
But about Bomb?
Like Yoshi's yellow, but Bomb's the only thing, and I think like they're like, he's cute. We can put him in Nikes.
He did that. He did
that.
Nikes.
They have Nikes in this world. Because Nike exists in this reverse dino world.
Yeah, but Nike has really good marketing. Of course, Air Jordans are everywhere. You're telling me the little dinosaur kids didn't want Air Jordans? Everyone wanted Jordans.
It's true. It's got to be the shoes.
Yeah, it's got to be the shoes. Criticism. All right. I guess I'll just go first. We'll see where this takes us. What were they thinking? I know there isn't much of a plot to the games, but how did they take the NES games and come up with this? Like, I think what happened was somebody wrote a script. They had a completed script about these guys traveling to a different dimension, and there's a dinosaur universe. Like, that's obviously what happened. They got the rights to Mario, and they just copy and pasted Mario terms into the script. And they're like, that'll make sense. Look, she was a princess after all, just like the princess in the video games. It's a cash grab. It's lazy. It's bad movie making. But most video games / movies / TV shows are just awful because they're different mediums. And really, at the end of the day, I don't think that's actually been figured out yet. Where a movie is a story where you watch like a protagonist, right? I'm watching Luke Skywalker. I'm watching Han Solo. I'm watching Legolas. A game, though, I'm the protagonist, right? I'm Link. I'm Mario. I'm what's his face? From The Last of Us.
Shoot,
you know what? I was going on a good rant and I lost it. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but you are these characters, right? Like, the reason that video games can't be visual media, as in like TV shows or movies, is because they're different, right? A video game is a self-contained story where I become the hero. I am Link. I am Mario. I overcome the obstacles. I don't watch them overcome the obstacles. And it's always been like that. So it's always going to be a lesser medium, right? The Last of Us, it was okay, but I did not have the same impact when Joel saved Ellie from the hospital at the end in the TV show as I did in the game. Because you have to fight through the hordes of resistance fighters. You have to save Ellie because you love her and you have to get her out of that hospital. It's something I'm doing, right? It's my choice. Me watching Joel do that, I'm like, okay, he killed some guys, whatever. I'm sure he's gonna feel guilty about this, but like, it's never gonna work. It's never ever gonna work. It's always gonna be a cash grab, and I think we just have to kind of like learn to accept that. Now, I say that knowing full well that potentially there's another movie that we're talking about in the near future that is definitely just a cash grab, and it's a bad movie, and it just makes references to video games that shouldn't be there, and it's dumb and it's terrible, and it was just cheaply put out to make money. But I kind of feel like that's all video game properties are. Like, we shouldn't look at this as fine art. We should look at this as, yeah, okay, they're trying to like relay some information. I get it. Cute. It's so cute.
There is one good adaptation. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Not only did we get a solid TV show.
Yeah, true.
But we also got a solid game show.
True. Okay. All right. That
I mean, and it works because it's like, because you're trying to thwart the villain. So you don't need to, you are the villain, you are rooting for the protagonist because
Yeah.
you're all trying to do the same thing. You're all trying to stop Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, there you go. Huh. That's a good point. Anyways, so that's my criticism.
Yeah.
I went on a little bit of a rant there, right? But I just
No, it's fair. It's fair because it is just my criticism's kind of along the same way. It's like, this is clearly just a cash grab. Like, if you didn't want to be faithful to the source material, don't do it. Maybe just make something else. Like, I understand this probably made more money than Theodore Rex with Whoopi Goldberg and that talking dinosaur. But like,
did it
do something more. Like, do something fresh. Do something that, like, if you don't want to like do anything with the source material, it's like maybe don't. But I understand. All hail the mighty dollar. I just think that you had a bunch of good actors that were willing to put in the work. Like, they clearly were committed, and the set people were willing to give it all they could. I just think that the script really just drags this whole thing down into the gutter. And
so one of the actors, that the older lady, I think, as she was referred to, she's like 30. She's like 34 or something, I'm sure. So we're like, oh, cool, the old lady, because we're old. Did say at one point when she signed up for it, like, there was an actual script here that was witty and clever and well put together, but they just kept changing things for some reason to the point where it was boiled down and it was super dumbed down, and it was, they were drinking on sets, they were in a terrible working environment, and they just kind of pumped out anything. So for this movie, sure, we kind of give it a pass, right? But my criticism is kind of in general, it's just not the best medium. And like, like, why are you making this movie? Because kids like the games and it makes money. Okay, cool. So that is the reason you made this movie. Why did Christopher Nolan make The Dark Knight? He had a really cool story that he wanted to tell, right? He wanted to make a cool, challenging medium. Awesome. Well, that's maybe why The Dark Knight's a good movie and Mario Brothers is terrible, right? It kind of shows like where they're coming from, and it's just, I don't know. It's like, but it's difficult to come at it and be critical, and it's just silly at the end of the day too, right? So I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's like, and that's like, it's not high art. It's hard to be super critical of something that you're like, this was never intended to be like an Oscar-worthy movie, or a movie that you're like supposed to. It's like they wanted to make some cash and cash in on a well-known IP, and just make a summer movie. That's all they wanted to do, and that's fine. And you know what? Sometimes movies are good to be. Like, they can be bad, but they can be fine and fun.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a fine and fun movie. Has a lot of problems, but I mean, at the same time, there's lots of parts where I'm just smiling and watching it. So.
That's the thing. Like, even they're driving around in the cars, and like the old lady who shows up and she's like, "Hey, do you boys have any weapons?" No? Okay, give me your Koopa coins! And then she like falls into a car and she electrocutes, and there's a bunch of cars crashing into each other, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, how is this the Mario movie?
Yeah. Or like when they're getting checked into the police station, and like they're doing the Mario, Luigi, Mario, and the police officer's just getting it like a heel dug into his shoulder, and the police officer next to them is getting assaulted. Like, you hear glass break, and the police officer gets yanked off the thing, and the guy reacts like it's nothing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What is this world? What is happening?
You know what? And so that's actually great. My final praise of this film, I love how absolutely fucking crazy this movie is. Like, how can you not love Dino Hatton's set? It's just chaotic. There's fungus hanging everywhere. You know, considering how much turmoil there was behind the scenes, it's kind of a fun movie, right? It's not good. By no means is it good, but it's cheesy. It's harmless. It's probably the best Mario movie ever made. Wink.
Wow. We'll see. Because this movie it's not good, but it's watchable. It's goofy. There's madness. Anywhere you look, like, there's Dennis Hopper kissing a baby in a background while people are getting arrested for singing a song, and it's like, this movie's insane.
Yeah.
And like, there's goofy things like the cameras all look like machine guns, so they think that they're gonna get shot, and then like, and it's like red lasers, and then like it's just a flash camera. He's ordering a pizza, and he's like holding a gun at the screen instead of a mouse. It's a gun. Like, it just like, there's interesting ideas everywhere, and it's like some people were having fun and giving it their all. These, and it shows. Like, there's lots lots of entertaining things to keep you engaged. I don't like find myself just like getting bored and wanting to stare at my phone or getting irritated to a point where like I have to walk away like I did in like Deadpool.
Oh,
So.
yeah. Like, and this is like, this literally, there's a plot in this movie where Mario has a girlfriend and he's upset that he didn't take her to WrestleMania. But no, actually, he should be upset because she's captured in the dinosaur world. And he didn't know. There's like 2 minutes left in the movie. He's like, oh, I better go save all the girls. Like, what? The plot is so terrible. You didn't know, Mario didn't know his girlfriend was in Dinosaurburg the whole time. So had Daisy not said that, they would have just left, and she would have been like, "Oh, hey, by the way, do you want these other girls? Like, should you save them as well, or just leave them? What are you thinking about that?"
To be fair, they just left their date, and then like they have their own date set up, and like Luigi and Daisy are on their date, and then they just like they get called into the flood.
Why wasn't like there a threatening scene where like Bowser's like, "I have your girlfriend, Mario. Give me the rock."
Yeah.
Oh, hey, maybe we should go get the rock and save my girlfriend. Now we have some more stakes. Huh? We increase the stakes instead of just the final scene being like, "Oh, I better go get them."
Because that would mean that they're actual, like, that'd be actual characters interacting with one another and having that drive the plot as opposed to just random madness. And we need a scene where
I'm being silly.
Sliding down on mattresses. Or they capture the bad guys because they went shooting out a thing, and now they're trapped in mud. It's like,
okay, all right, cool. So that's our review of the Mario movie. Current thoughts? It was okay. It's kind of fun. The final 2 stages of the fight are just like Mario 1 in Mario World. What do you think of it? Oh, those are my current thoughts from like way back in the day. Cool, awesome. All right, insightful guy I am. Huh. It was.
I like how
it was okay.
Just like Mario 1 and Mario World.
Well, he's like kind of in that car, like
kind of, yeah.
Right?
He's in that little cup thing.
He's in like a cup, but he comes out and he's a dinosaur, just like Mario World. And I'm like, whoa! So what I know though is they definitely have played the game based on that scene. So what the hell was going on with the rest of the movie?
Yeah. This is a better movie than it has any right to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a lot of fun. It's batshit crazy. It disrespects the source material, and to a point where
no remorse for the source material. They're like, fuck it.
That's why you're like, it's a good Mario movie, and you're like, but it's not a Mario movie. It's a better movie, but it's not a better Mario movie because this is not a Mario movie. This is just madness with Dennis Hopper, John Leguizamo, and Bob Hoskins.
What if instead of Blade Runner, there was a dinosaur parallel dimension? That's literally the plot. Like that was like the pitch of this film. And
it could be. Yeah. You could literally just throw like instead of like Blade Brothers, and it's like it doesn't need to be a Mario Brothers movie. So
absolutely does not.
Like minus the bomb with the Nikes.
Yeah. No, they had those jump boots, and they jumped that one time through that glass ceiling. And you're like, whoa, they're going to jump. No, they never jump again.
But what are jump boots? It's like, it's just because they jump. Like, that was the only thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, but Mario doesn't use jump boots.
But maybe he does in the games. That's why he jumps so high.
But he doesn't.
But, like, you don't know. Like, because the graphics on it's just because, like, the sprites are so small. You don't know about it. Yeah.
I forgot. And Big Bertha is clearly a rotund lady who has massive cleavage and tries to seduce Mario, not a giant fish. I forgot.
Yes. How silly of you. Okay, cool. Yeah. So instead of an "Are you buying it?" we get original fun facts. Are you guys ready for these 4 fun facts? So the city they made was fully functional. The donut shop actually made donuts. Okay.
That's sick.
All right.
I could see why they were having like everybody at least on the set. Like, who were hanging out in like the restaurants looked like they were at least enjoying themselves.
Yeah, except the extra that like signs up to be the donut shop guy who's like making donuts all day, and he's like, these guys are just like walking around like that old lady's just robbing people for Koopa coins, and I have to make donuts.
Everybody else just gets to hang out, and there's that one dude. It's like, this fucking sucks.
And like the janitor guy, he's like, oh, it's terrible. How about the Yoshi animatronic looked very good. Spielberg came to check him out while he was working on Jurassic Park. Right?
Yeah,
I like
it does look very good.
Yeah, I like my old notes. They're funny. The scenes where they were in the ice tunnels, they rigged it to go faster, and one of the girls almost fell off and dropped 25 feet. Thankfully, no one got hurt.
I remember this. I remember this thing, and it's like, what a shame that would have been for such a stupid little thing.
Yeah.
It didn't even need to be in the movie for somebody to almost get hurt on it.
Yeah. Oh,
But we need them going through pipes at some point.
and they have to
When's
fly
the
out onto the
slide?
street. It'd be sweet. We should definitely. Okay, cool. And it turned out well for a movie with such trouble production. Is that a fun fact?
It turned out well. It did turn out
No,
well.
but that's not a
though.
fact. That's an opinion.
No, but this is a cult classic movie.
No. Me saying it turned out well, because you could tear this movie down and say it's the worst thing ever, and it matches the trouble production. So that's an opinion. That's not a fact.
That's fair. I was going to say, I'm like, did it turn a profit? Because if it turned a profit, I guess it did turn out well.
You know what? I couldn't find what the box office return for this was, because I was going to compare it to Tammy and
because this movie has been scrubbed from the internet.
Mario Bros.
Like, you have to type 93 in there.
Box office. You do, because I went to Mario Brothers movie on YouTube, and it's like, $3.8 million. What was the box? The budget was
Budget was 48.
it lost money. Oh, okay.
But yes,
That's a shame.
So
That's a shame.
you know what? They'll make it up in the second one, which in mixed opinion is a far inferior movie.
Have you? Yeah, I'm curious now that I've okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't remember loving it. Maybe it's better than I thought. Wayback Machine though. Oh boy, can't wait going back to May 28th, 1993 and see what this world, because I was alive. I remember this. We could talk about this. So top TV shows around this time were, what's weird I do The Simpsons. Must have thought we were short on time. Buggered that up. Boy Meets World, Frasier, The Nanny, X-Files, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. And this hour has 22 minutes. Those are all the TV shows you could have watched.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind this hour has 22 minutes. Took me a little while to get into it, but yeah, it's not bad.
It's like dry Canadian humor. You know, it is what it is. That's fine. Top cartoons, or cartoons, I guess, that were released in 1993. We saw Animaniacs, Beavis and Butthead, Rocko's Modern Life, and Pinky and the Brain.
All excellent. So this, like, cartoons are still just ramping up, because last year we had the Batman animated series and X-Men kickoff. So, like, Pinky and the Brain, Animaniacs full swing. Like, Warner Brothers is just killing.
We're only four short years away from Invasion America.
Yeah, we can watch some pretty good stuff. I'm sure there's a Bobby's World or an Eek the Cat still kicking around somewhere.
Yeah, true. Top movie. So this movie went up against Cliffhanger and Made in America. Okay.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Still in theaters, you could see Hot Shots Part 2, Dave, The Sandlot, and Indecent Proposal.
Huh.
And if you waited a week or two, you could see Jurassic Park.
Yes. Well, I could see why this movie didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody was like, I'm going to go watch the good dinosaur movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was like, well, yeah, okay, that makes sense. You're like, I'll just watch the scary velociraptors, not the poor little guy that I like that got shanked.
Yeah, the guy that got stabbed.
What the hell? Like, lucky he's okay. I thought he died. And then he like shows up in the room at the end, and they like take the knife out. I'm like, no, he's gonna bleed to death. But he like turns out, I think he's okay. Also,
yeah, she bandages him.
Did you notice who the king was?
No.
Lance Hendrickson.
Oh, okay. Wow. After just doing all these aliens movies, it's interesting to be like, what are you doing here, Lance?
So do we just have to keep going with Lance? You know that Lance Hendrickson and one of the guys.
I wish it was Halloween still, because he's in so many good Halloween movies. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a Lance Hendrickson Halloween special one year.
It's Lance Hendrickson and Paxton. Is it Bill? No, Pullman. Bill Pullman is in the second Aliens movie. They're the only two actors in the world that own the distinction of being killed by a xenomorph, a predator, and a Terminator.
Wow. That is a special group.
Right? Like, I'm like, I kind of wish I was an actor and I could just always also be known in that ring. Like, that would make me feel really good about myself. So
yeah, it's one of those honors like being on The Simpsons. You're just like, you've made it.
Yeah. Cool. Top top video games released in 1993. I think I just kind of looked at or I guess around this area, like a month or two before and after. You saw Kirby's Adventure, Link's Awakening, Super Mario All-Stars, and Sonic CD.
Excellent.
Yep.
Even Sonic CD, not a bad Sonic game.
I didn't write down the number one song. That's weird. So the number 3 song, according to the Billboard charts for May 28th, 1993, was Can't Help Falling in Love by UB40. And I just don't want to listen to that song or sound clips. We're just not going to do sound clips. Number 2 was Whoop, There It Is by Tag Team. And the number 1 song, if I would have done the whole year, I think was I Will Always Love You by Janet Jackson. Or no, Whitney Houston.
Oh, I figured it would have been the theme song to Jurassic Park.
I mean, it's not bad.
Or everybody was just listening to the Weird Al version.
No, they're obviously doing the Everybody Walk the Dinosaur, and they're doing that sweet dance from that club in this movie.
Absolutely. It's so big, it's in the biggest movie of all time, Super Mario Brothers.
Lost $10 million.
Biggest movie success ever.
And then more specifically, and I was thinking about this earlier while I was in the shower, because you do a lot of good work. Everyone thinks the best in the shower. Guys, I missed my calling. I did a whole section. I didn't even think of this. They mentioned WrestleMania. Mario's going to WrestleMania, guys. Do you know which WrestleMania he missed?
Oh, what WrestleMania did he miss?
WrestleMania 9, which was from, April 4th, 1993 in Caesar's Palace in Nevada. Okay, cool. Okay. So, main events, anything, Tito Santana defeats Papa Shango. No, it does nothing for you. How about Tanaka defeats Shawn Michaels by countout? So that means Michaels retains the Intercontinental title, because obviously titles can't be changed via countout. Come on. Doink the Clown defeated Crush. Okay. Razor Ramon defeats Bob Backlund.
Okay.
Bob Backlund. Okay. The Money.
But everybody loves Razor Ramon.
Oh yeah. Money Inc., which is Ted DiBiase, Aussie, the $1 Million Man, and Erwin R. Shyster, also known as IRS, were the champions, defeated by the Mega Maniacs, Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake, by disqualification. Okay. Lex Luger defeats Mr. Perfect by pinfall.
Wait, so did Mr. Perfect have 2 fights?
No, what else did he fight?
So, sorry, I thought you said that he was in Money. No,
Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster.
Okay.
$1 Million Man. Yeah.
Right.
The Undertaker defeated Giant Gonzalez. So have you ever seen that weird guy who's in that really awful looking bodysuit? Maybe has hair on it. That's the Giant Gonzalez. I'm glad that he died. Or not died. Oh, and he's dead now. I'm not glad about it though. I'm just glad that he lost. All right, that's
fair.
That's
fair. They went down a path.
Ooh, boy. Yokozuna defeated Bret Hart via pinfall to win the WWE Championship.
Okay.
But don't worry, guys, because afterwards, you can't have a foreigner in America win, because is that Hulk Hogan's music we hear? And Hulk Hogan ultimately defeated Yokozuna in 22 seconds to win the WWF Championship. So Hulk Hogan is the champion.
So Hulk Hogan was in 2 matches that night, and his second match he just showed up to defeat an already tired guy who just won.
Yeah, Yokozuna beats Bret Hart. He raises his hand, and then Hulk Hogan comes out, and he's like, "Not on my land will I let a foreigner," and then he wins the championship.
Wow, that is that's wrestling for you.
Yeah, cool. All right, good old WrestleMania. Mario loved it.
Yeah.
Cultural significance. So our final thing we talk about on today's show before we leave. On this section, we look at game design, lore inspirations, turning points, interesting stories. We talk about how this game relates, or movie. We don't discriminate. Give other examples and tie it all back together in the end. I had nothing. Nothing really spoke to me. It's a bad movie. What about a video game movie battle royale?
Always down.
All right. And specifically, for some reason, the first 12. I don't know why I picked 12. So they're just going to go, and they're not ranked in terms of how I think, it's just how they came out. So that's how the ranking. So number 1 seed is the Super Mario Brothers. They will be playing the winner of Resident Evil at number 8 and number 9's Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life. So of those 2 movies, Resident Evil and Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, which is the better movie?
I really want to give it to Lara Croft here. But Cradle of Life's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I got to give it to that first Resident Evil. It's the best Resident Evil movie we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
It does something interesting, takes itself kind of serious, but also is kind of goofy. So
Cool. All right.
Give me first Resident Evil.
Nice. So Resident Evil, you're playing against the Super Mario Brothers movie. Which wins?
Which one would I rather put on? I think I would rather watch Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
I am going to give it that edge.
Okay.
Resident Evil is just Paul W.S. Anderson, where the heck his name is. It's just his movies are so hard to watch, and they're all so samey, and I just like.
Although, if you're like after a road trip and you like after you're pulling out your like Marilyn Manson CD and like some Trent Reznor, some like 9 Inch Nails, it like Resident Evil does hit pretty well.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Okay, cool. So then the next bracket. So good job, Super Mario Brothers movie. You guys made it to the semifinals. Quarterfinals? Semifinals.
Quarters.
No, semis. Because they're in the final four. So semifinals.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that the number 4 seed, which will be revealed in a second, goes up against the winner of the number 5th seed or of this bracket here. So we have number 5, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Obviously the 5th movie released. Versus the 12th movie. I just wrote a bunch of them. They're all terrible. Alone in the Dark, Doom, Blood Rain, Silent Hill. The point is they're just all terrible, so I don't care. So of those movies, are any of them better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give Silent Hill the edge here. Has like some cool atmosphere stuff. Pyramid Head's way cooler than anything in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Alone in the Dark, though, is so bad, it's almost really good. Me and Mum have a good chuckle about that movie because we watched it like it was on reruns of like Sci-Fi or something back in the day, and we watched it like every week. And it was just like we just got a kick that the villains are these evil nuns that sold kids in the orphanage off to this like place for experiments, and yeah, it was just so bad. It's terrible.
Well, it needs a shout out though, obviously. So okay, good. So does Silent Hill beat out as the 12 seed? It gets its play-in tournament. We got let's be serious. Let's not joke around. This is a serious tournament. So they get in the play-in. Do they beat Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
No. This one's lopsided. No, wait. Yeah. So Silent Hill beats Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Okay, perfect.
For sure.
So they go on as a 12 seed, which is a big upset here, to play the 4th seed, which is the first Mortal Kombat movie. Now, does it beat the first Mortal Kombat movie?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Pyramid Head cannot take on Johnny Cage, the good Sonya Blade, like good Raiden, good Goro. Like, yeah, this is my Mortal Kombat of choice.
Good, excellent. Welcome to the semifinals, Mortal Kombat. That means we go to our 7-10 matchup. So the 7th seed is Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the very first one, versus number 10, Uwe Boll's House of the Dead.
House of the Dead is so garbage, but it's so
there's not even a house in the movie.
Garbage. Yeah, but they even do like the.
Oh yeah, and I know they intercut scenes of the game, which is like a first-person arcade shooter, in the movie.
God. Yeah. It's so bad. You go to Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Okay, all right. Number 7, good job. You go on to play Double Dragon. Ooh.
Wow. Oof. This movie, Double Dragon.
Okay.
Not good.
Yeah.
Best part about this is what's her face in it? Alyssa Milano.
Okay. I liked that their car ran on garbage.
Okay, yeah.
And there's like
this one.
Yeah.
And they had like the matching medallions.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were kind of into this movie when it first came out, and it's like two brothers, matching. Like one's red, one's got the blue on. Very cool. I think we played a lot of the video game, and this is when we like. This movie inspired us to pick up like Battletoads versus Double Dragon.
So not to reveal anything, but there is a part of me that wants to do some double features coming up where we look at, say, like Goonies and Goonies 2, or like one of the Friday the 13th movies and Friday the 13th on the NES. And Double Dragon on the NES definitely is in that wheelhouse. So that's definitely a movie I'd be interested to go back. I haven't seen it for a while. I can't tell you anything about it other than like you're very bland. They're like, yeah, there were two brothers. and they had a medallion maybe, but they were also different colors. They were like brothers like black people mean it. So it's actually a lot more meaningful, I think.
Yeah, and I think that they were just brothers through just living that hard street life together. And
but brothers, but not actually brothers.
Yeah,
that's a Zoolander line. I wasn't just being insensitive.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I know.
All right, cool.
I know.
So Double Dragon at number 2 versus Laura Croft at 7. Do we know what's happening?
Giving it to Laura Croft,
okay.
100%.
Okay.
And if we're gonna do that, they are doing a Tomb Raider remake. So maybe I'll make you play the first Tomb Raider game and watch a Tomb Raider movie.
Like, again, I'm not against this. Like, maybe one year we just literally just pump out movies and video games. I don't know. We'll talk.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Fine with
Good
that.
job, Laura Croft. That's the first upset. Number 7 seed. Ooh, going to the semifinals. Who's she going to play? So we got to look at the 6-11 matchup. Number 6 is Wing Commander.
Oof. Yeah.
Okay. Versus number 11, Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Oh, okay. Not a great Resident Evil movie.
Nope.
But Wing Commander is like oddly gives me that vibes of like Starship Troopers, but way cheesier. And I think I've only watched Wing Commander once, so I got to give it to Resident Evil Apocalypse because I do have a soft spot for this one, and it does have Jill looks really good in this movie, so that I might have had a crush on her as a kid. Okay. So
nice, good job. 11 seed Resident Evil Apocalypse. You're going up against number 3 seed Street Fighter.
Oof. We got a not great movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme. But you do get Kylie Minogue as Cammy. So Kylie Minogue as Cammy versus Jill in Resident Evil Apocalypse. Who am I going to go with? These are the problems. You know what? I'm going to give the edge to Resident Evil Apocalypse here. Okay. This was one of those ones where I know the first one's a better movie, but for some reason, just like Tremors 2, it's just one of those movies where I know Tremors 1's a better. I just watched Tremors 2 more for some reason. I just watched Resident Evil Apocalypse more. Yeah, so
that's
big upset.
I get it. Yeah, I see that.
11 seed makes it.
Oh boy, so we got to go up to the top here. We got the number 1 seed Super Mario Brothers versus the number 4 seed Mortal Kombat. Who's going to the finals of those two?
Oof. You know what? I'm gonna go with. Let's go Mario Brothers. Let's do it. This movie's insane. It's bonkers. Makes no sense. And it is so incredibly watchable to a point where I can just watch the background now. There's so much insanity where I just want to rewind certain scenes just to see like what exactly did just happen. Whereas Mortal Kombat, it's a little bit more competent. It's a little bit more watchable. But at the same time, I think it's too overdone. It's like because everybody just picks that's the best video game movie. Yes, of course it is. But you know what? Not today.
Okay, all right.
Today I'm going with Madness. We're going to go Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was going to say the only defense is I think Mortal Kombat is the best video game movie because it's
it is.
And like when we reviewed it, I was like, but it's just like the game. Like you just have a random fight and then they just move on to the next fight. That's all the game is. And you're like, oh, cool. All right. But yeah, you're right. Super Mario Brothers is insane. Okay, so who's it going to play in the finals? Is it number 7, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, or is it number 11, Resident Evil Apocalypse?
Okay, Angelina Jolie versus Jill. Can you pull another one out, Jill? I don't think she can. She's only in it for a little bit longer. And Lara Croft is just so much better. Okay. It's entertaining.
Okay.
And you gotta look at the Kylie Minogue one.
Okay.
It's Lara Croft is Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
I mean, she sparked a fire in my heart. And I got to go with some Lara Croft.
Sick. All right. So that means the number 1 seed, Super Mario Brothers, The Insanity versus The Awakening that Lara Croft's Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider had on Tyson as the 7 seed. So what is the best video game movie? Is it Mario Brothers or Lara Croft?
You know what? I always like to kind of like give a little bit of a leeway towards the Mario Brothers, but I'm going Lara Croft on this one. The first movie's not bad. It's entertaining. She does some like actual tomb raiding. Reminds me more of like the earlier games as opposed to like the later games.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's fun. It's super cheesy. but I also even get Daniel Craig in it. And if they are going to give me James Bond, Angelina Jolie, and Tomb Raider all in one movie,
shit!
Come on.
Does James Bond have to start teaming up with other super guys like Angelina Jolie, like Tomb Raider? Maybe.
That would be amazing. I would pay good money for this.
Shit. All right. Well then.
But then again, if you're like James Bond teams up with Mario, I would be like, I'll give you money for this.
What? GoldenEye and Mario 64? No, that's not what it's called, you dumb idiot. God damn it. Stupid kids. Cool. All right. Well, I did not see that. I did not see Tomb Raider winning that at all. That's amazing. Incredible. Great performance. That's probably the lowest seed we've ever had win one of these tournaments. So, well, but again, also wasn't ranked. It was just order of release. So,
yeah. So, had we ranked them, it probably would have been a little bit different.
Like, had I went to a ranking or like a view, like that might have been like a 1-2 matchup. So.
But we got, you know what? It's always a fun time when we can talk about some old
and like
video game movies.
You do an excellent job of like talking yourself through those scenarios. It's phenomenal. It's like butter on toast, nice and smooth.
I try. Well, I love all this old junk. If you can give me a platform to rant about video games and movies, and that's hey, Podtendo, here we are, 6 years later or 7 years later, going strong.
Okay, cool. Apparently, I was screen sharing the whole time, so
yeah, on the Discord, once I moved my notes I could see your screen. I was like, oh hey, I guess when we did our tiers list,
never stopped that part of it. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Good. Not that we record on the same time. Again, this is November 10th, everyone.
Yes, the 10th of November.
Yeah, not another time that confuses Tyson, but to no ends. Awesome. So with that wraps it up, guys. Month of Mario. We got a Mario game coming at you. I think actually we might just be playing Mario the rest of the year. So let's just, lots of Mario.
Yeah, it's not bad. If I hear any complaints, I don't care.
Yeah, nice. So with that, did we miss anything? Oh, the only thing is I've heard that listening to podcasts, they like when you hear something wrong in a podcast and you go to yell, it's like the closest feeling you could ever have to being a ghost, where you just hear someone's conversation, you can't interact with them. I would like to call you out that you... No, I'll tell you later. Actually, never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, cool. Are we done?
I'm good. I even got to mention James Bond.
Sweet. All right. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We're back with another game. And maybe I'll have fun stories for everybody. Who knows?
Ooh.
Cool.
Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.